Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get latest notifications.
Assalamu alaikum students, hope you all are fine. May Almighty keep you always safe and healthy. So without any delay, let's start with the name of Almighty here. Today exercise 9.2, last time it was exercise 9.2 up to question number 2. So in our previous lectures we have learned about what is an algebraic expression and the key terms related to it, like coefficient, factor, constant, variable, like and unlike terms. Then in exercise 9.1 we learned how to add two polynomials and how to subtract two polynomials. And now in exercise 9.2, last time it was multiplication of a monomial with monomial. How to multiply two monomials. So whenever you are going to multiply two monomials with each other, the coefficient part will get multiplied with coefficient part and the variable part will get multiplied with variable part. So last time it was up to question number 2. Question number 3 is a table, and this table is entirely based on the multiplication of a monomial with monomial. So you are going to attempt it yourself. So I am going to show you question number 4 here. The question number 4, part number first is 5a, the first monomial here. The second monomial is 3a square, and the last monomial is 7a raised to power 4. So we have here the third monomial is 7a raised to power 4. So here we have three monomials. First monomial, second monomial and third monomial. Now the question is that these three monomials are the three dimensions of a cuboid. What is a cuboid? A cuboid is a three-dimensional object. Three-dimensional means it has length, it has breadth, and it has height. So cuboid is a three-dimensional object which has 6 rectangular faces, and its opposite faces are congruent. So what is a cuboid? A cuboid is a three-dimensional means it has length, breadth and height, three-dimensional object which has 6 rectangular faces and its opposite faces are congruent, like shoebox, like brick, like book. These all are cuboids because they have 3 dimensions, they have 6 rectangular faces and their opposite faces are congruent. Inshallah, we are going to study in detail about cuboid when it comes to mensuration. So here the cuboid is a three-dimensional object which has 6 rectangular faces and whose opposite faces are congruent. So next part here is volume. So what is volume? Volume is the magnitude of space occupied. So volume of an object means obviously volume of any object. It's not the volume of any 3D object. 3D object means which has 3 dimensions. So volume of any 3D object is equal to the magnitude of the space it has occupied. So volume of a cuboid. Volume of a cuboid also means the magnitude of the space that it has occupied. But we have a formula here that states that volume of a cuboid is equal to length into breadth into height. Means in a cuboid, if you are going to multiply the 3 dimensions of it, means its length with breadth and then with its height, you are going to get your volume of that cuboid. In the same way here, what we have here, we have 3 monomials, and these 3 monomials represents the 3 dimensions of a cuboid. So let this first monomial, let it be length, let this 3a square be breadth, and this 7a raised to the power 4 be height. So how we are going to start our solution here? First we are going to write here length of the cuboid is equal to 5a. The first monomial here. The first monomial is representing length here. Breadth of the cuboid is equal to 3a square here. And height of the cuboid is 7a raised to the power 4 here. So these 3 are the 3 dimensions of a cuboid. Now the question is asking for volume. So volume of the cuboid, as we all know, is equal to length into breadth into height. So length into breadth into height. So volume of the cuboid is always equal to length into breadth into height. So what is the length here? It's 5a. What about breadth? It's 3a square. And what about height? It is 7a raised to the power 4. So now what we have here, we have 3 monomials here that are in multiplication with each other. So once again multiply the coefficient with coefficient and variable with variable. So 5 into 3 is equal to 15, and 15 into 7, it will be equal to 105. Now a into a square into a raised to power 4. So once again, according to the first law of exponents, if the bases are same in multiplication, powers will get added. Here a and a, the bases are same, that too in multiplication. So the power of this a is 1, here it is 2, here it is 4, then powers will get added now. So it will become a 1 plus 2 is 3, 7. So that is the answer of this question. Means 5a into 3a square into 7a raised to power 4 will be equal to 105a raised to power 7. So that is the volume of this cuboid, whose dimensions are 5a, 3a square and 7a raised to power 4. So that was the question number 4, part number first. Rest of the parts are very easy. You are going to follow the same procedure. You have 3 monomials in each and every part here in question number 4. And let the first monomial be length, let the second monomial be breadth, and the third monomial be the height. And then you are going to multiply them with each other. You are going to get your volume. Now, after that, it's question number 5. The question number 5, part number A is find the product. Product of what? The first monomial is xy. The second monomial is yz. And the third monomial is zx. Once again, we have 3 monomials here. The first monomial is xy, the second monomial is yz, and the third monomial is zx. So question is asking for their product. Simply what we are going to do here, we are going to multiply them. So in solution here, we are going to write that this xy actually means x into y. There is a hidden multiplication sign there. Into yz, and it's in multiplication with zx. So these 3 monomials are in multiplication with each other here. So now what we are going to do here, we are going to multiply them. So we have x here, and then we have y, z, and x, one more x here. So once again, according to the first law of exponents, when bases are same, powers will get added and it will become x square. Now y into y, it will become y square, and z into z, it will become z square. So what you are getting here, it is x square, y square and z square. So that is the product of xy into yz into zx, that it is equal to x square, y square, z square. So that was part number first in question number 5, and now we are going to do part number 2 of the same question. Part number 2 of question number 5 once again is asking for the product here, and once again we have 3 monomials in it. So rules are same. You are going to multiply the variable part with variable and the coefficient part with coefficient here. Okay, now part number 2 here. The part number 2 is a minus a square and then a cube. So once again we have 3 monomials and the question is asking for the product. Product simply means multiply them. So what we are going to do here, just a second, we are going to multiply them. So this first monomial a, we are going to multiply it with second monomial, that's minus a square, and we are going to multiply it with a cube. Now a minus a and a. So let's follow the first law of exponent that states when bases are same, powers will get added. Okay, bases are same, but wait, here we have a and here it's minus a. Are the bases same? No, they are not. We can't say that a is equal to minus a. No, we can't say. In the same way, can you say that 3 is equal to minus 3? No, they are 2 different numbers. So in the same way, a and minus a are not same. Now what we are going to do here, first we are going to understand the difference of minus 3 square and minus 3 whole square. Now try to understand the difference between these 2 numbers. Minus 3 square, this square is only with 3 here. The square indicates that this 3 is going to multiply 2 times with itself. So minus 3 square actually indicates minus, there is nothing with minus, it's something like this. This square is not with minus, this square is with 3 only. So it will be equal to minus 3 into 3. But what about this? It indicates minus 3 into minus 3. You are going to multiply this minus 3 2 times. This square is with both 3 as well as minus. Means it is minus 3 into minus 3 and it is minus 3 into 3. And the result or the product is minus 9 and here it is positive 9. So this expression yields a negative result and this expression yields a positive result. Now this minus indicates here this term is negative, that's why we are multiplying 3 with itself. And here minus 3 whole square, this bracket indicates that this square is with both 3 as well as minus. So minus 3 will get multiplied 2 times. So its answer will be positive. So here in this case this minus indicates this term is negative. So we are getting minus 9 here. Now we are moving towards our question. Here we have minus a square. So it's quite like this. This minus indicates that whatever be the answer, it will be a negative one. Means if a is 3, for example, we are taking an example here. If a is 3 or a is 4, then if a is 4, so it will be minus 4 square. So the answer will be minus 16. So we have minus a square here. This minus indicates this term is negative term. It means whatever, irrespective of the value of y. So now what we are going to do here? A into, now we are going to represent this minus a square as minus 1 into a square into a raised to power 3. So minus 1 into a square is equal to minus a square. This minus 1 indicates that this term is negative. Now what we are going to do here? Now we are going to interchange their positions. Now minus 1 into a square into a cube. Now we are interchanging the position of these two numbers here, this variable and this minus 1, according to the commutative property. So that's commutative property that allows us to interchange the position of numbers when it comes to multiplication. So here I am doing it. So now what we have here, it's minus 1, and now we have a into a square into a cube. Now bases are same, that too in multiplication. Now we can use the first law of exponents. That states that when bases are same, powers will get added. So it will become 1 plus 2 is 3, and 3 plus 3 will become 6. So it will be minus 1 into a raised to power 6. And that's going to be minus a raised to power 6. So that is the answer of question number 5, part number 2. A multiplied with minus a square into a cube, it will yield the result minus a raised to power 6. So rest of the parts in question number 5 are self attempt. So that is the end of exercise 9.2. And now we are moving towards exercise 9.3. Now 9.3 is also based on multiplication. But this time it's not monomial with monomial, but this time it's monomial with any n term polynomial. So in exercise 9.3, once again we are going to do multiplication. So we are going to replace this monomial with any n term polynomial. So exercise 9.2, first in exercise 9.1 we learned how to add and how to subtract, and now it's about exercise 9.2. In exercise 9.2 we learn about how to multiply two monomials, and now in exercise 9.3 we are going to learn how to multiply a monomial with any n term polynomial. So it will be a monomial multiplication with any n term polynomial. So let's take an example here. 5a, for example, is a monomial, and that's in multiplication with, let's take any n term polynomial, let's take a binomial here, 3a plus, for example, b here. So this monomial is in multiplication with this binomial. So 5a is in multiplication with 3a plus b. Brackets are very important. Means if you are going to write this statement like this without having brackets, what we are going to consider here, that these two terms are in multiplication with each other, that's it. But in actual, this whole binomial is in multiplication with this monomial. This 3a plus b is in multiplication with 5a. Without brackets, we will consider that this 5a is in multiplication only with 3a, only with first term. So brackets are very important here. Okay, now what we have a monomial that's in multiplication with binomial here. And how we are going to multiply them? What we are going to do here, listen and listen carefully. We are going to multiply this 5a first with the first term here, that's 3a. And then we are going to multiply this 5a with b. So we are multiplying this 5a first with 3a, and then we are multiplying this 5a with b, distributive property. So for example, if it was 5a multiplied with a 3a plus b plus c, this time we have a trinomial. So this time what we are going to do here, once again we are going to multiply this monomial with each and every term in the brackets. Means this 5a will get multiplied with 3a, with b and c. And if there are 4 terms, 5 terms, 10 terms, 100 terms, this 5a will get multiplied with each and every term. So here we have only 2 terms, so we are multiplying this monomial first with 3a and then this 5a with b. So now it will be 5a multiplied with 3a. So we are multiplying this 5a with 3a here, and then we have plus and 5a into b. So 5a into 3a means you are multiplying this monomial first with this term and then plus, then this 5a with b, 5a into b. Now once again we have a monomial here, we have a monomial here. So we are multiplying 2 monomials here. So multiply the coefficient with coefficient, that will be 15, and a with a, it will be a square. Then we have the sign of plus here. 5a into b, it will be 5ab. Now the 2 terms are unlike, we can't add them. So the product of 5a into 3a plus b is 15a square plus 5ab. And that's it. How we are going to multiply a monomial with any n term polynomial. Just remember that you are going to multiply this monomial with each and every term. Means if you have 2 terms here, you are going to multiply this monomial with 2 terms. And if you have trinomial here, if you have quadrinomial here, even if you have 10 term polynomial here, you are going to multiply this monomial with each and every term, with all the 10 terms. So let's start exercise 9.3, sorry. Entire exercise 9.3 is based on the multiplication of a monomial with n term polynomial. Sometimes you are going to get a binomial, sometimes trinomial. So let's start. Question number 1, part number first. It is 4p comma q plus r. So the question is, carry out the multiplication. This is a monomial here and this is a binomial, multiply them. So what we are going to do here, we are going to 4p in multiplication with this expression, this binomial. So we are going to put this expression in brackets here. Means actually this 4p is not only in multiplication with q, it is with both q as well as r. So this monomial in multiplication with this binomial. So 4p into q, first we are going to multiply it with first term. So 4p will get multiplied with q first, and then it's plus. And now we are going to multiply this 4p with r now. So it will be 4pq plus 4pr. Now the 2 terms are unlike here, so we can't proceed further. So that is the end of this question. So the multiplication of 4p with q plus r yields 4pq plus 4pr. So that is question number 1, part number first. Now what about part number 5th? of this question. PQ, QR plus RP and then 0. Once again we have a trinomial here, and that's in multiplication with monomial, that's 0 here. So the expression is quite like this: 0 into PQ plus QR plus RP. Now you all know that anything multiplied with 0, the result will be 0. So whenever you are going to multiply any number with 0, the product will be 0. So anything multiplied with 0, the result will be 0. 0 into any number here, x, the product will be 0. So 0 into this trinomial, it will be equal to 0. So that was question number 1, and rest of the parts are self attempt in question number 1. So that's it. So question number 2 is a table, and it is once again based on the multiplication of a monomial with n-term polynomial. You are going to attempt it. It's very easy. You are going to follow these rules. Let's conclude our maths lecture today with this beautiful quote of Plato: "The highest pure form of thought lies in mathematics."